Hey people, John here from Fast Films, and today we're going to go through a 2018 comedy movie called Blockers. The opening scene shows Lisa dropping her kid, Julie, off at kindergarten for the first time. Julie soon makes friends with two other girls, Kayla and Sam. Kayla's father, Mitchell, and Sam's father, Hunter, are also present. The trio then decides to be friends since their kids are friends too. Multiple scenes show Lisa, Kayla, and Sam growing up together. Up next, Julie, who is now a teenager, wakes up from bed and goes for a jog with Lisa. After getting back from their morning run, Lisa prepares herself for school. As she does, she tells Lisa how anxious she is about their prom night, but Lisa tells her to calm down. Julie then asks if Lisa would be okay when she goes to college, and she says yes, with tears forming in her eyes. The next scene shows Mitchell and his wife, Marcy, having a discussion about their daughter. Marcy tells Mitchell to take it easy on Kayla because she is a teenager now. Soon afterward, Kayla, Sam, and Julie meet up for school. Julie and her boyfriend, Austin, share a kiss by the school locker. Julie then goes over to her friend and tells them that she's planning on losing her virginity that night to Austin. Upon hearing this, Kayla decides that she is going to do the same with her lab partner, Connor. However, Sam says she is not ready to lose her virginity but promises to do other wild stuff that night. Sam decides she will go to the prom with Chad. While the trio talks, Sam spots another student, Angelica, across the room and she stares at her romantically. Soon afterward, Julie arrives home and sees a letter in the mailbox. She opens it and discovers that she has been accepted to study at UCLA. She then decides not to tell her mother because of the way she will react to the news. Meanwhile, at Sam's place, her mother, Brenda, and her stepfather, Frank, sit her down to discuss her friendship life after high school. Brenda says it's possible she'll no longer be friends with Kayla and Julie once they graduate from high school because that is how life works. Back at Julie's place, Lisa checks out Julie's prom dress. Julie then talks about her application to UCLA, but Lisa takes it as a joke. She says the University of Chicago is better for Julie. Now at Kayla's house, Mitchell's eyes fill with tears because his kid is finally becoming a woman. Shortly afterward, Kayla and her parents arrive at Lisa's place. Sam is also present too, and so are Frank and Brenda. They all come to have a little party to celebrate their children's prom night. Upon leaving her room, Julie leaves a laptop on and it's connected to her cell phone. Julie and Kayla start discussing how wild they want the night to be. Feeling left out, Sam agrees to lose her virginity to Chad also. Moments later, Sam's father arrives in a limousine. Sam is surprised to see him and doesn't really give him a good welcome. Lisa is surprised to see Hunter because she didn't invite him. Frank and Brenda soon come to greet Hunter and the situation gets more awkward for Hunter. Seconds later, Lisa goes inside Julie's room and sees her acceptance letter into UCLA. Soon afterwards, Kayla, Sam, and Julie, including their dates, prepare to leave in the limousine. Lisa tries talking to Julie, but Julie leaves in a hurry and tells her mother that she loves her. As the limousine departs, the driver, Rudy, introduces himself to the teens and tells them to have a lot of fun. Lisa and Mitchell sit down to talk about Julie's admission when they hear her laptop binging in her bedroom. They go over to investigate and also find Hunter coming out of the toilet. The trio sees their children using emojis to chat and they soon decipher it. The parents realize what their kids are up to and decide to stop them, except for Hunter, who says that they don't have to interfere in their kids' business. On their way to the school, Hunter tells the others that Sam won't make out with Chad because Sam is a leso. They ask him how he knows, and he informs them that it's his duty to know things about his daughter, even though Sam hasn't told him yet. Julie and her friends soon arrive at the school and they start having fun. Sam sees Angelica and goes over to meet her. Angelica informs her that she has broken up with her partner. Angelica tells her that she will get to know what she wants when she finally tries to be with a man. Meanwhile, Kayla informs Connor that she is ready to make out with him. Moments later, the parents also arrive at the school and they start searching for their kids. Meanwhile, the kids decide it's time to leave the school and go to the lake house to have fun. Hunter sees Kayla and Julie leaving and doesn't bother to tell Mitchell and Lisa. Hunter soon changes his mind and sees Sam kissing Chad. He decides to join Lisa and Mitchell in their scheme because he doesn't want Sam to do what she will regret. The parents go to Austin's house to see if the kids will be there. Upon getting there, the trio finds Austin's parents engaging in wild games. Austin's father, Ron, catches them and the situation becomes awkward. After some awkward moments, Ron reveals that the kids are at the lake house but refuses to give the address. However, Mitchell says Marcy will know the lake house because she once worked there. The next scene shows the kids having fun in the limousine on their way to the lake house. The parents get to Mitchell's house and start going through her records to find out the location of the lake house. Marcy catches them during the act and refuses to give them the location. She says the kids have the right to their privacy, but Lisa finds a way to distract Marcy and Mitchell is able to get the address. Marcy tries to stop them, but she couldn't, and the trio escapes from the house. The parents soon arrive at the lake house while their kids are having fun inside. However, they are denied access to the lake house by the owner. He tells them that the parents are not allowed. The trio tries to tell him that they are not the parents, and he tells them to prove it. Mitchell is asked to do a contest and a beer chug, and he accepts. During the contest, the cops arrive, and all the students start running away, including Julie and her friends. The kids plan to go to the hotel for an after party. The parents get into their car and start following the limousine. Unfortunately, Sam stands up from the limousine to throw up, and he ends up throwing up in Lisa's car, causing them to lose track of the kids when the car crashes. At the crash site, it becomes clear that each parent has their own motivation. Mitchell is in denial over his daughter growing up. Hunter feels guilty for neglecting Sam during his bitter separation from Brenda, who cheated on him. Lisa is struggling to let go of her child and is offended by her plans to go to distant UCLA. While the parents are waiting for the taxi to pick them up, Julie and her friends stop at a store to change their messed up clothes. At the store, Julie discovers that her mother has been trying to reach her. Julie calls her, and the duo end up having a disagreement over the phone. Soon afterward, the parents realize that the only way they can know where their kids are going is to check Ron's phone. The trio goes over to Ron's house to steal his phone, barging on Ron and his wife. The trio finds them having a blindfolded wild game. They secretly sneak in to take Ron's phone, but Hunter and Mitchell end up partaking in the game so that Lisa has enough time to steal the phone. Upon acquiring the phone, they realize that the kids are going to a hotel, and they swiftly follow them. The kids arrive at the hotel to have fun. However, Austin tells Kayla that Julie's mood is down because of her argument with Lisa. Kayla then tells Austin to give her the room and key. She tells him to bring Kayla to the room in the next 15 minutes. Moments later, the parents arrive at the hotel and they start looking for their kids. Lisa sees Kayla leaving a room and she sneaks inside without her knowing. Inside the room, she discovers that Kayla has laid the room in such a way that will put Julie in the room. Lisa walks through the room and realizes that what she is doing is wrong. As she is about to leave, she hears Julie and Austin coming inside and she quickly hides under the bed. Julie enters the room and her mood immediately gets lightened up. She and Austin start to make out immediately, and unknown to them, Lisa is under the bed. Simultaneously, Mitchell is breaking into rooms while searching for Kayla. Meanwhile, Chad and Sam are having fun, but the duo doesn't make out and Sam ends up giving Chad some pleasure. The next scene shows Kayla and Connor having fun in their hotel room. Kayla soon decides that it's not yet time for her to lose her virginity, but she lets Connor give her head. Up next, Hunter sees Chad across the building and runs after him. Meanwhile, Mitchell finds Kayla and Connor. He throws Connor across the room, but Kayla tells him that nothing happened between them. Connor leaves the room and the duo start having a conversation. Kayla informs Mitchell that he doesn't need to follow her around because he has already raised her well. Upon hearing this, Mitchell gets emotional and Kayla hugs him. Now in Julie's room, Lisa realizes that Austin and Julie love each other. She then secretly sneaks out of the room without the duo noticing her. Soon afterwards, Hunter finds Sam, and she informs him that nothing happened between her and Chad. As the duo talks, Sam opens up to Hunter that she is a leso. Hunter gets deeply moved because he is the first person Sam informs about her preference. Hunter tells her to inform her friends about it because that's what friends do. Shortly afterwards, Hunter, Lisa, and Mitchell meet up at the hotel bar. The trio reminisces about the events of the night, and they are happy that they turn out to be proud parents. Moments later, Julie and her friends meet up too. The trio each share their experiences of the night. Sam then opens up to her friend that she is a leso, and they support her for who she is. Just then, Angelica comes over to Sam and the duo share a kiss. 3 months later, Sam and Kayla accompany Julie to UCLA. As they leave, Lisa starts receiving texts from the girls on their group chat. The parents see that the texts are filled with the girls' plans to make out without using protection and dealing with hard substances. As the trio rushes to their car in order to follow their children, they receive a text informing them that it was a prank, and they send a final text of, "I love you," to them. In the post-credit scene, Kayla catches her parents having a wild game, and she screams. Thanks for watching, guys.